What's up, it's you? For today's video, we're full Effect Spore Ability Pokemon Team. Effect Spore has a 30% chance to poison, paralyze, or sleep if you do get hit by a contacting move. Now, this is interesting because 30% chance isn't very high, and especially with special attacking moves, there's not many of them that actually do contacting damage. There's only a couple, like, Draining Kiss, Grass Knot, etc. So it was quite difficult to get this ability to activate in the first place. So just bear that one in mind. And it's not a really ability that most Pokemon to ever use. It's more of a gimmick, but it can be fun and funny in the right situation. I've got two battles today with the Effect Spore team, and I hope you enjoy. Our first battle here, this one is against Bella, and we've got a pick-a lead. Now, interestingly enough, with the Effect Spore ability, a certain bunch of Pokemon actually get it, and they're quite similar. And they're very, very similar, especially in types as well. So Pikachu, the first move, is going to use Sing and on my Shiinotic. So Shiinotic is going to be put to sleep. Now, this Shiinotic is a Weather Ball set, so we got Weather Ball, Rain Dance, Sunny Day, and Giga Drain. I've got Mystic Water as the item, and I've got Max Health and Max Special Attack. So this set is actually about putting different types of weather on the field. So Rain Dance will turn Weather Ball into water, and Sunny Day will make it give it a fire move. So I thought, water move, fire move, and Giga Drain. I thought that'd be quite fun. Plus, I got to cover a lot of different, typings. So this Pikachu is going to go for agility here on my Shiinotic, and Shiinotic is actually going to wake up this turn and go for a Rain Dance. So now the next turn, I can actually go for a Weather Ball. Now, if I wasn't running like a grass type Pokemon, I probably wouldn't use Rain Dance because Pikachu could have Thunder. Pikachu's got to go for Sing, and it's got Blunder Policy Sing. So at the moment, it's got like +6 in speed, which is crazy. I'm going to go for Weather Ball here on the Pikachu. This should do a lot of damage. I don't know whether Pikachu will be able to live it, and it didn't. Pikachu is very, very frail, and it's going to get one shot. I think they must have had Electro Ball. I can't think of any other strategy that, agility and Blunder Policy would even be, viable in. So anyway, in comes Appleton here. Now, I can't do a ton of damage to Appleton, so I'm going to be going for Sunny Day, and I can go for Weather Ball after that. I don't really know if this has Thick Fat or not, but I may as well get some damage. It's going to be better than none, right? So getting that Sun up here, Appleton is going to go for a Curse, and that's going to raise its defense and attack. Its speeds are a trash, so it doesn't really matter at all. So a physical Appleton. Now, I'm thinking to myself here, I'm like, what move can Appleton actually do against me? Obviously, a Grass-type move is going to do nothing. I know that it does get Gyro. That's about it. I don't think it can really do anything else. So it's going to go for Payback. So clearly, Payback is the best move they can use against me. Fortunately, Shiinotic actually is a Fairy type too. It's Grass and Fairy, so it's going to be resistant to Payback. Otherwise, that would have done way more damage. So we're going to go for another Weather Ball on Appleton here, and it's one more hit to take it out, and then the Appleton is going to have ripened. So it's going to ripen a berry here, being the Apricot berry. So its special defense got a nice little boost there, and the Appleton is going to go for a cover. I'm like, oh, isn't that just great? So now my moves are going to do nowhere near as much. Now there's only a couple more turns left of the sun here. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get rid of this thing. So I go for the Weather Ball again here. As you can see with the Weather Ball damage, it did nothing after that Apricot berry. So now we got the Appleton going for a Payback again. Payback's still not really doing too much damage either. So okay, I might be able to feint this. If it uses to recover this turn, well, I might swap out into another Pokemon, right? I feel like I can still take this out. So go for another Weather Ball and Appleton here. I feel like maybe 2 more will be enough to take it out. And there's, 1 more will be enough. And now the Appleton is going to go for Payback. So okay, I'll be able to live that one. I should be able to live 2 more. Unfortunately, this turn, the Sunlight is going to fade. So man, what do I do here? Do I go for a normal Weather Ball? Giga Drain's going to do nothing. Do I set the weather up again? What happens if the Payback actually faints? So it's you know what? I'm just going to go for Weather Ball here. If it takes it out, it takes it out. Shiinotic did a reasonable job there. It almost took out 2 Pokemon. So Weather Ball, normal Weather Ball does nothing. Now, when you use Weather Ball normally, obviously it's a normal type move. And instead of it being 100 base power during Rain Dance, Sunny Day, etc., it's only 50 base power. So it is a very, very weak move. And of course, after all those berries. So I tried for a Giga Drain, and yeah, it did about as much damage as a Weather Ball. Maybe like a little, like 1 health like less than it. So unfortunately, I should have definitely set the weather up there with Sunny Day, but I wasn't really to know that Payback wasn't going to fake me there. Could have had a high roll or a critical hit. It doesn't matter though, because Appledun only has a little bit of health here, so I can swap in Amoonguss. So you might be able to guess a lot of these Pokemon are grass type. Actually, all of them are grass type, and quite a few of them are actually mushroom style Pokemon too. Now, yes, I have done a mushroom only Pokemon team if you want to check that. Matter of fact, if anyone checks out my mushroom Pokemon team, and leaves a comment on there, I'll give you a little love heart like. How's that? And I might be able to comment back to you as well, depending on how many people actually comment on there. So that's going to be the end of the Appletun. In comes Zacian here, and it doesn't have its sword, so it's got its +1 at attack, and we've got a choice band in Amoonguss. So I got C-Bomb, Stomping Tantrum, Facade, and Payback, Max Health, and Max Attack out of Nature. Now, Zacian, I was curious what sort of set it's going to use. It went for a Tail Slap. I'm like, this might be like King's Rock or something. So go for a Choice Band and C-Bomb, and that actually did very, very good damage there. I like to run this Amoonguss normally with Regenerate. It's a nice little surprise, but obviously we're running Effect Spore here today. So now Zacian is going to finally connect its Tail Slap, and there's one here. It's actually doing a fair bit, and Effect Spore finally activates, and it puts a Zacian to sleep. So that's a very, very good status to roll with Effect Spore too. Now, we'll say one thing here too. Effect Spore activated not very much out of all the battles I did. Like, a lot of the battles, seriously, a lot of the battles I did, it never activated once. So it was very difficult to get this to actually work, you know. You had to rely on getting hit by a contact move, and then you had to roll that 30% chance. So it was difficult. So that's going to be the end of Zacian there. I've taken out half the team, so things are looking pretty good right there. Next Pokemon is going to be Victini. So, like, this is a scary Pokemon. So at this stage, you're like, you know what? I'll swap the Amoonguss out. I don't want to, like, really lock myself into Seed Bomb. I'd rather lock myself into, Payback or even Stomping Tantrum. And we're going to go into Morlul. So Morlul is another Pokemon. Morlul is a Pokemon you hardly ever get to see. I'll give you a little clue, though. There's going to be some Morlul love happening in the next week or two. A little bit of a hint there for a future video. So Victini set up a Trick Room. Like, I wonder what set this is going to be. So I've got Strength Sap, Toxic, Leech Seed, and Draining Kiss. Now, you may be wondering why I've got Toxic on an Effect Spore team. This is more for Pokemon that weren't contacting, and I was actually a little bit scared of this Victini. So I was like, I have to go for Toxic. I can't roll the Effect Spore not working. And it was a good choice because Victini is going to have V-Create under the Trick Room. Like, oh, this is very bad. So obviously after you use V-Create, you actually get a speed drop. So that's going to work very, very nicely for Victini. So not a bad strategy there, and a very, very powerful move. So I do not regret getting that Toxic up right there. Morlul will be back in the second battle for some more action. We're going to go into Gossifleur. Now, Gossifleur has got a thumping 10 base speed, so I thought, out of all the Pokemon I've got remaining in my team, this is the one that could outspeed Victini. So I've got Pollen Puff and Hive Voice. Like, you know what? Let's go for Pollen Puff. I've got a Choice Spec set here. Max Health, Max Special Attack. You got to see the moves there already. And not bad, not bad damage here with Pollen Puff. Victini's going to have Confusion too, so it was a mix set. Confusion, Victini, only on Pit Ice Shadow. And it did pretty good damage there. Like, it actually did a lot of damage, nearly half my health. I'm going to go for Pollen Puff again because I'm Choice Specs, obviously. I know that V-Create is coming my way too. Pollen Puff's doing some good damage there. And here comes the second V-Create. So it's looking like that Victini will live this next turn. And it's going to one-shot. Any Pokemon I've got remaining is going to get one-shot, whether in Dynamax or non-Dynamax. So I'm thinking, like, what can I do here? Like, how can I prevent another Pokemon from fainting? Do I have Protect? Looking through all my sets, like, nah, I don't have Protect. So the only way I can prevent this is actually to go for Dynamax and go for a Max Guard. So we're going to go to Eldegoss here. We've got a Grassy Glide, Grassy Terrain, Facade, Poison Powder set, which is pretty cool. And we got a Physical Attacker. Now, looking at Eldegoss, I'm thinking, even with Max Health, this is not going to leave a V-Create. Absolutely no way. And there's only one more turn of Victini using V-Create. So we're going to go for Dynamax Eldegoss, and then I'm just going to use Max Guard off the Grassy Terrain or Poison Powder, right? Now, I've also got Toxic Orb on there, so I can use Facade and get a boost from that. But yeah, mainly this set is about getting that Grassy Terrain up, which is, not only does help out the Eldegoss, it helps out all the other Pokemon on my team too with Grass-type moves. So there comes the obvious V-Create, and Eldegoss is going to dodge a Mega Flame there. So that Victini was scary. That was absolute 100% good play there, putting the Toxic on that. Now, the Trick Room has worn off, which is a little bit unfortunate because, you know, Eldegoss isn't exactly the fastest Pokemon either. And in comes a Squirtle. I was like, okay, what's this going to do? So I've got Max Overgrowth, which is coming off a physical move. But it is a Squirtle, so it's going to do some pretty good damage here. Squirtle's got to go for a Shell Smash, so clearly the Squirtle has a Focus Sash. There's no way it's going to be able to live this one at all, right? Now, Squirtle, I'd say it's got an Ice-type move to be able to do any damage to me whatsoever, but I don't know whether it's going to be a physical set or a special set. You never know. So Squirtle's going to get taken down to its Focus Sash there, and it's going to get a little bit of a heal, but that's fine. I can just go for another attacking move. Now, I'm thinking to myself, I could actually go for a Max Guard here, and then I could go for a Grassy Glide and outspeed Squirtle, but I was like, that means I'm actually using up a turn there, so I'm just going to go for an attacking move and go for that. So I'm going to take a little bit of poison damage there from the Toxorb. It's neither here nor there. That's fine. And now the Squirtle is going to be Dynamaxing on 1 health there. I like to Dynamax my Squirtle on 1 health, you know. So obviously they're going to go for a Max. I'm thinking Max Hailstorm will be their best bet. I'm trying to think of like some other moves that would be good against Eldegoss. Coming like that Squirtle learns. I'm really trying to like rack my brain here. I don't think it gets any fire move. Like, no, it doesn't get any fire moves at all. Ice is really the only move they can get that's super effective. So anyway, the Squirtle hits me pretty hard there, the Max Hailstorm. Eldegoss has got a it's fairly thick, you know, Eldegoss. It's quite a bulky like Pokemon, especially in Dynamax too. And I can finish the Squirtle off there with a Max Overgrowth. Then I've got like a advantage in speed. Once I come out of the Dynamax, I can use Grassy Glide. It's going to be priority. Not that it's going to be hitting really hard, but it will get a bit of a boost there from the grass on the field. So it'll be hitting a little bit harder than what it normally does. And also I've got the option to go for Facade too, which is going to be pretty cool. Facade is just there to, you know, say I come across another grass type Pokemon. Like, well, you know, I'm going to be kind of walled here. How about we pop Facade on there? So here comes Porygon Z. And I'm thinking about using a Facade or a Grassy Glider. Like, well, I don't know what sort of set this is going to be. I think I'm going to faint this turn, so let's go ahead and go for Grassy Glide and get some well-deserved damage on the Porygon Z. Now, if you enjoyed the Theme Teams people in the video, of course, please make sure you leave a like on there and a comment. That really helps my channel out. It helps you out too, because you get to see the videos in your subscriptions, and that makes sure you don't ever miss a video. So we're going to get some solid damage there on the Porygon Z. I'm very happy about that. And now Porygon Z is going to... actually, it's going to be able to live this next turn, Eldegoss, which is kind of nice. So I can go for another Grassy Glide. No, I'm going to faint this turn, sorry. The Porygon Z is going to faint there. So faint my Eldegoss there just to the toxic damage. Now I'm going to bring in the Vileplume here. Now, Vileplume has got Drain Punch on it. Now, Drain Punch is super effective. Will it take Porygon Z out here? No, I don't believe it will, but I've got Grassy Glide on this too, so the Vileplume and the Eldegoss sort of work well together because they could set each other up. Vileplume is a lot better in this strategy, is a lot better than Eldegoss, so because it's got Sword Dance. So we got the Dank Pulse coming from the Porygon Z. Obviously they're trying to flinch me and stuff, and I get the Sword Dance up here. This is a max speed and max attack Vileplume with a max health, max attack Vileplume. With Adamant Nature, we've got Terrain Extender as the item for a grassy terrain, and you know what the ability is, of course, then. So Porygon 2 is now going to get hit by a +2 Grassy Glide, and the grass is on the field too. So this is going to do like an enormous amount of damage. There's no point going for Drain Punch because we want to be going first there. And Porygon Z is going to stop running. The computer got unplugged, and that is the end of the first battle. Pretty close battle right there. That Victini though, that was a very scary Pokemon. I'm glad I was actually able to get that Toxic on there with more lull. Next battle, this one against Varu X, and this team was this was a pretty interesting sort of battle here as well. So first Pokemon we got, actually this is the theme team. If you can guess what this theme team is, let me know in the comment section of the video. I don't know whether that first one was a theme team. If you picked up something from that first battle, if you thought it was a theme team, also let me know. First Pokemon here is going to be Shellos. Shellos is going to go for an Ice Beam. That's going to be super effective on Gossifleur. The only reason I lived that so well because I was running Max Health. So we're going to go for Energy Ball here, as you'll get to see why Energy Ball was a pretty good move to go for against this team. So Shellos is going to get critted, and it's going to Focus Sash. Normally, like with Shellos, you probably expect an Everlight or a Focus Sash. It's going to be one of those like troll items for sure. I went for Energy Ball again there. I don't really want to swap out because when you look at my team, they're all going to be weak to Ice Beam there. And, I might even get freeze attacks as well, which is very, very bad when that does happen. Now, it's going to be interesting to see whether in Gen 9 we actually get that Frostbite status back, and that's the sleep status and stuff like that for Gen 9. Personally, for me, I sort of like the status as how they are, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Would you like to see them to be permanently changed for the ongoing main series Pokemon games or traditional main series games? I like Sleep to stay the way it is. I wouldn't be so bad about, like, the Frozen and stuff's being different, or the Frostbite. That could be interesting, but I sort of like the sleep status to stay how it is. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know in the comment section what you'd like to see. That's from Legends of Arceus, by the way, if you haven't played that or you don't know what I'm talking about. Marine comes in, Maractus here. It's going to go for a Sunny Day. I'm like, okay, Chlorophyll Maractus maybe? Solar Beam, Solar Blade. Those moves aren't going to be very effective, so I'm saying it's probably going to be like Chlorophyll. So go for Facade there. Excellent damage coming from Eldegoss there on Maractus. Maractus doesn't seem to be bulky, though, so I'd say this is more of an offensive set. That should have done a lot less. I know it's Facade, but man, Eldegoss's attack is kind of trash. So Maractus is going to go for an Energy Ball. Sorry, a Weather Ball, getting my balls mixed up there. It happens sometimes in life. And Eldegoss is just going to leave. It was very, very close, but this is going to be a double KO because Maractus will go down Facade and I will faint to the Toxic Orb damage. But Maractus using Weather Ball, which is pretty cool. I'd probably put that on that team too. So that's the end of the Shellos and the Maractus. Now, the next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Lileep. So I'm not sure why it's called You Know It for. Maybe they're trying to do some crazy name. And I'm going to bring in my Shiinotic. So like, okay, well, I've got Weather Ball. I may as well go for that. People are like trolling me and stuff like that. They'll like, shiny Lileep looks like a sea pickle. And, they're making fun of me and stuff like that. So we're going to go for Weather Ball. And that is going to be hitting Lileep right in the face. Judging on the damage that I did to it, I don't believe it's Everlight. That really didn't do too much, or unless it's like it's just got Everlight and doesn't have much bulk to it. So the Lileep is going to go for a Meteor Beam there. I'm going to go for a Weather Ball number 2. Once again, I got it right in the face, and that's a 3-hit KO, which is going to be very nice. Here comes the Meteor Beam from the Lileep right here, and that's going to do pretty good damage. That's nice damage to Shiinotic, right? Shiinotic's going to go for a final Weather Ball, and that's going to be enough to take out the Lileep. So that's half the team down. Things are going pretty good. I actually quite like this rain dancing sunny day Shiinotic. It's quite fun. Next Pokemon is Gastrodon. So we got this is going to be easy pickings from my Shiinotic. I can go for Giga Drain here, and it's going to outspeed me, and it's going to Weather Ball as well. So lots of Weather Balls going on at the moment. Shiinotic was already sort of injured from that Lileep before, and it's going to faint to that. So bye-bye Shiinotic. This is bad because my whole team's weak to Weather Ball, especially in the sun. So like, okay. Let's nip this one in the bud, people. And we're going to go into Morlul here. So I've got Strength Sap, Toxic, and I've got Leech Seed. Now, the thing about this team, if you haven't noticed already, my opponent has been using all special moves. So, Effect Spore is not going to be able to activate on any of these moves so far. So I'm going to go for Toxic on the Gastron, just pretend it was from Effect Spore. And, Morlul takes it very, very well. This is an extremely bulky Morlul. This set is actually really, really tanky, like, take my word for it. So we've got max health and max special attack. Normally, you know what? Normally I run a special defensive one. This time I went for a more offense, but you can use Strength Sap to get your health back and drop the opponent's attack, and you get the benefit of Everlight as well. So it's very, very tanky. It's got good sustain with Strength Sap. And, once the opponent's attack is dropped a million times, you're not going to get as much health back. But with Leech Seed and Draining Kiss being stabbed, that actually works pretty well. And then you've got the Toxic going at the same time, which is, it's great recovery. It's got a fair, it's quite an interesting Pokemon, Shiinotic. So anyway, we got them Toxics going on the Gastron. Gastron's going to swap out there, and Cradilly is going to come in here. So you might be, if you're still thinking, I can't figure this team out, maybe think about what Pokemon are being used. For some reason, there's 2 Gastrons. A Gastrodon and a Shellos being used for some reason. There's a Lileep and Cradilly. These are the same evolution Pokemon. What else do they have in common, apart from typing, of course? So we're going to go for Toxic on Cradilly here. Like I said, unless it's a physical Cradilly, I don't think Effect Spore is going to even come into play here. And, you never know what Cradilly would be, because normally it's a very bulky Pokemon. So Morlul, I'm going to be swapping out here, and we're going to be going into Amoonguss now. So okay, well, with Amoonguss, at least I can go for Seed Bomb. That's my really only option here. So Craydealer's going to go for a stockpile. This has got 2 stockpiles up now. This thing's defenses are crazy, so it was a good idea to put that Toxic on Craydealer. Even if let's play with the idea it's got Recover. Well, it's still going to eventually faint the poison, eventually. So this is also going to have Meteor Beam as well. It seems to be very, very similar to the Lileep set from earlier on. Now, it's going to have Power Herb instead. I'd say the Lileep had Everlight instead of Power Herb. Here it comes. It's going to hit a lot harder than the Lileep's one, and Amoonguss takes a big amount of damage. The only reason I live that, because Amoonguss is max health and it's pretty tanky in itself. So there's some decent Seed Bomb damage there on Craydealer. So Craydealer is on its very last turn. I was like, okay, I've got this. Now Craydealer is going to go for a Spit Up. I was like, very nice, very nice. Special Craydealer. And the Spit Up is going to get very, very, very powerful there on the second one, and that's going to fate my Amoonguss. And Craydealer is actually that's another double KO. So 2 double KOs in this battle so far. So that got up nearly the max amount of Spit Ups there. Next Pokemon is Gastrodon. So Gastrodon is already poisoned. I've got Vileplume here. It's like, okay, Vileplume's going to be very good against Gastrodon. Look, even if it's got a Rindo Berry, there's no way it's going to be leaving this attack. So Morlo isn't really made for Dynamax at all. In fact, it's worse than Dynamax. So we're going to go for Dynamax Vileplume here. I don't mind shiny Vileplume. Looks pretty cool, its whole green body. Now, as I said, this Vileplume was a max health and max attack set. I can easily go for a grassy glide here, and then I can put the grassy terrain up on the field. Not that Gastrodon's going to be leaving this one anyway. Look, even with a Rindo Berry, it would have probably struggled there. So that's going to be the end of the Gastrodon, and there's only one more Pokemon left. I wonder what it could be. Now, my team has had a serious advantage against these Pokemon, as you can probably see. Last Pokemon it's the other Gastrodon, so I'm sure most people would have figured this team right out there. I'd say so, right? So last Pokemon is a Gastrodon, it's going to be the other Gastrodon, and we got a Dynamax here as well, because that was their last Pokemon. I must say, my opponent did do very well against my team, because when you look at it, you've got Shellos is weak to it, and you got half the team is weak to grass, right? And then, you got Craydealer and Lileep too. Well, grass is still neutral against them as well. And when you look at my team, or any grass move used from the opponent too is going to be not very effective at all, right? That's the end of the battle there. The Gastrodon is going to feign the Dynamax, absolutely, because I grassy terrain the field. And that is the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it, people. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.